Passed away this morning at his California home. We're told he was surrounded by family. Conter was one of 335 U.S. Arizona crew members to survive the Pearl Harbor attack. After World War II, he went on to fly combat missions in Korea and is credited in creating the Navy's first SEER program. That stands for Survival, Evasion, Resistance, and Escape. He was also a military advisor to Presidents Eisenhower, Kennedy, and Johnson. Conter was 102 years old. In our ongoing